Good morning, students. Today we are going to see the appointment, the powers and the duties which a director has to perform, which the director has in his company. Whatever director is appointed in the company, so it is directly according to the type of the company and the requirement of the company, what type of directors is needed by that company, and also the powers which are given to the director. So what type of powers are these, and up to what extent should the directors ask the shareholders about the decision making, and up to what extent the directors themselves can take the decisions for the company, and the duties which the director has to do in the company. So let us see them one by one. The first is the appointment of the directors. So the rules of appointment of directors are provided by the act, of course, Companies Act, and whatever types of directors are appointed and whatever frames the directors are being appointed. For example, the first directors, the next directors, the different types of directors which are appointment at different time and according to the need of the company. So let us check them one by one. The first is the first directors. So we all know that the first directors are those directors which are being appointed by the promoters. So always the promoters are those people who appoint the first directors, and these first directors sometimes can be the promoters themselves. Also the promoters also themselves nominate the first directors, but those directors who are officially appointed as a director with their DIN number with them, so these are those directors who will be called as the first directors, because they are the one who are being appointed as the first official directors of a company, and as soon as the promoters move out of the company, these are the people who are going to handle the company further, right? So that is why these first directors are usually appointed by the promoters who form the company, and this should be stated in the articles of association of the company. Now if the articles do not provide for the same condition, then the people who are signing the most important document, that is the memorandum of association of the company, so this person will be automatically by default become the first directors. And of course the one person in one person company, if the single member is means if the promoter is not appointing anyone else, so the member itself, the one person company member itself, he will be by default the director of that company. Now, the appointment of directors by the members. Members are those people who are the owner of the company, and we have studied who are the members and what are the conditions to become a member. So, firstly, they are the shareholders and their name is to be entered in the register of members. Then the people become members in a company. So, sometimes there are the appointment by the members. So, who are the people? Firstly, when the promoters appoint a person, that person is known as the first director. So this first director will be valid till the first annual general meeting of the company. In that first annual general meeting, the next lot of the directors would be appointed, if the because by that time the members and the shareholders would have come in the company, right? So in that situation, the directors the shareholders or the members themselves can keep continuing the first directors of a company if they want. Otherwise they can change also the type of directors. So the subsequent directors, matlab the next directors after the first directors in a public company, are appointed by the members at the annual general meeting, right? And generally this is the 2/3 of the board, and they are subject to retirement by rotation. So in this case they have explained the subsequent directors of a public company. So we know that in a public company, 2/3 of the total number of directors are rotational directors, and hence they are subject to retirement by the rotation. The next is appointment by of the directors by the board. So the board of directors themselves many a times appoint the board of directors. The first is the additional director. So whenever the company needs an additional director, that for example, if there are 4 directors and if the company needs for some project or for some major decision making, if they need 1 or 2 additional director to support the entire board, so in that situation they can appoint a additional director whenever needed as per the need of the company, and then this appointment is done by the directors themselves. The second is casual vacancy. Casual vacancy means whenever there is an empty place or a requirement because your original director he has left the company, he has retired in the company, or due to any circumstances like death, insolvency. In this situation we will be requiring a director, right? So casual vacancy is a normal vacancy in which the director's place or the position is empty, and for that thing the other people who want to become a director in your company, they can apply for the job and the position, right? So the casual vacancy on the board arises due to the different reasons like death, resignation of a director, which is to be filled by the board at the board meeting. So वो board meeting में the directors need to decide कि yes there is a vacancy for directors and now we need to appoint someone as a director. So such an appointment is valid only up to the time of the vacating director's incomplete term. So such a type of vacancy is valid only up to the time of the vacating director's incomplete term. Means if the directors means as you know every director is appointed for 1 year, right? And in every annual general meeting the shareholders decide ki whether we need to continue or whether we need to remove them or whether we need to increase their term of directorship. So in this situation, if this director he has resignated from his position in the mid of the year, so for the half of the year we will be needing a director, right? But if after his term, after his 1 year of directorship, if he has left the job, so in this situation if the company needs, only then the appointment will be done, otherwise it may not be done. Next is alternate directors. Alternate directors, we know in replace of our original director some other director is being appointed. So the board of directors may appoint an alternate director in place of a director who is going to be out of the state, where board meetings are usually held for not period of less than 3 months. So we know in every 3 months a board meeting is held in the company. So if the director is not available and he's out of the state, means he's out of the country. Here the state does not mean Maharashtra and Tamil Nadu and Rajasthan. It is not a state. State means the country. If the director is out of the country and if he is not available at that period, so in that situation we will be needing an alternate director to replace our original director. So this appointment is valid till the return of the original director to the country and also the expiry of the term of original director even if he has not returned. So till your original director comes, by that time the alternate director can work in your company, right? And as soon as the term of directorship of the original director expires, the appointment of the alternate director will also expire. The next is the nominee of an institution. The board of directors may appoint any person as director nominated by an institution under the provisions of the act. So we have studied this in the nominee director. So whenever a company appoints a nominee director to being working in the board of the company, so in this situation the director need to appoint that nominee director who is nominated by the nominator institutions. Okay, so whenever these institutions feel ki our director should be there in the board of that company where our funds are being invested or the big lump sum amount of loans are given, so these institutions appoint a nominee director in their board of director committee so that they can keep a check on how their amount or money is being used in the company. The next is appointment of directors by the tribunal. So tribunal, we have already seen what is a tribunal. A tribunal is a type of decision making committee for the company. So we have seen that tribunal is just the replacement of the courts. So these are the committees which take care of the decision of any decision related to any issues arising in the company. So a tribunal may appoint a director or directors on receiving a petition or application from members as relief against mismanagement of the company's affairs. So if there is a major mismanagement or frauds or illegal activities going on in your company, so in this situation the members can give the written petition, or they can approach the tribunals in writing that we are our money is misused by our directors. So in this situation the tribunal can also appoint a good director from outside the company who can keep a check on the current directors of that company. Next is appointment of directors by the central government. So in some situations, central government also appoint the directors in your company. The central government may order appointment of directors in the case where directors have vacated their offices under any of the specified disqualification, like there is a conviction by court of law. So if you are convicted by the court, or if you are banned from the court of law that you cannot enter into any contract because maybe you have done frauds, maybe you have misused the money of the investors, or you have done a lump sum amount of frauds to the company. So in this situation, the government can also appoint a director in your company. Next is appointment of directors by proportional representation. Proportional representation means those shareholders who are representing themselves in the voting system based upon the one share and one vote, right? So director may be appointed either by straight majority. Matlab straight majority means whatever voting is done, so depending upon the members the voting is done. Otherwise proportional representation, otherwise whatever number of or ratio of shares you are owning in the company, in that ratio your votes will be given the consideration or the weightage. So if I am owing 20,000 shares and some other person is owing just 5,000 shares, so more weightage will be given to my vote. So this is the proportional representation. So according to this also the appointment of directors are also done. Next is the powers of the directors. The directors have to work as a team through board of directors and not individually. The director cannot alone take the decision. He cannot take a major opinion or decision about the company, especially related to the funds, related to the strategy making, policy makings. Every director has to work together, and if an illegal activity or something wrong is being done by a director, it is considered that all the directors are doing the same in that company. The second is board cannot exercise the powers which are required to be exercised by the shareholders in the general meetings as given to them by the Act, memorandum and articles. So board of directors cannot do anything which goes against the Companies Act, memorandum of association and articles of association, because Companies Act is especially made for the companies to be followed, and memorandum and articles are the two main important documents. So everyone in the company has to follow these two documents. The exercise of powers by board is subject to provision of the Act, memorandum and article. So whatever powers are given by the Act to the directors and it is also mentioned in the memorandum and articles, so same is to be followed by the directors also. The powers of directors can be exercised in two ways: at the board meeting by passing a resolution. So in every board meeting they can decide whatever they want to implement in a company, and then after that decision they need to pass a resolution, and then that resolution becomes the finalized decision for the company, and then from the next day itself the thing is followed in the company. And next is by delegation to different committees created by the board. To delegation means to allow to distribute some work to authorize some work to someone, right? So by delegation to different committees means there are different committees in a company. We have already studied CSR committee is there, then remuneration committee is there. So these committees are created by the board of directors. So whatever work the company has to give to those committees, or whatever work those committees have to do, the directors are the one who delegate that power or give that power to them. Now let us see some examples of the powers which the board of directors have. The first is to borrow money on behalf of the company. Next is to invest funds of the company. Next is to issue securities by the name of a company. For example, if our company wants to invest in some other company's shares, in some other company's debentures, so that also can be done by the director. Next is to diversify the business of a company. Diversify means to expand, to grow our business. So this is also the decision which is taken by the directors. To appoint or remove KMP, key managerial personnel, are the most important people who are in the managing committee of the company, like managing directors, CEOs, different HODs, CS. So these are the people who managers, senior managers. So these are the people who comes under KMP. So if they want to appoint or remove them, that comes on also under the power of the board of directors. Now to fill the casual vacancies in the board, whatever vacancies are there in the board of directors team, so in that, if the director is being needed by the company, so that vacancy can be filled by the board of directors, and they can do the procedure for the appointment of the directors, like taking the interviews and like that. To recommend dividend, whatever dividend the shareholders are going to get in return of their investment in the company, so that dividend the directors can recommend it to the shareholders. To appoint first auditors of the company, to appoint the auditors, because without auditors we cannot calculate the profit and loss, taxation, dividend policies. So that is why we need appoint the auditors, and the first auditors are appointed by the board of directors. The next auditors are being appointed and removed, or their term of work in the company is extended by the shareholders. To remit or give time for repayment of any debt due from a director. So if any director is having any liability towards the company related to the financial matter, so that time is given by these directors, that within what period of time he should repay the company whatever amount he has taken, or whatever amount the balance amount is there for a director to pay to the company. For example, if the director has taken the qualification shares, so if that money is pending, so he needs to give it to the company. So that time period, whatever time in whatever time he needs to pay that money, so that time can be extended by the board of directors. Now, what are the duties of the director, right? The duties of a director, of course, it is related to organizing, managing the company, taking care of the finances of the company. But the duty is more like of the loyalty and taking care of the company. It also is dependent upon the trust, right? Because directors are those people who take care of the company in each and every situation, because the owners are not always available. So only the bonding which the directors and the shareholders will have is the bonding of the trust, because unless and until the shareholders have to they will trust on the directors, no other relationship can be built up, and the directors also cannot work more efficiently. And plus, directors also have to take care of the trust the shareholders are doing upon them, and then they need to take care of those commitment they have done to the company, and that commitment they have taken towards the shareholders of the company, right? So a director's relationship with the company is regarded as fiduciary. It is means unrelated to the finances and like all that things, but it is more of a fiduciary. That is, his duty is full of trust, loyalty, obedience, care and good faith, unless and until he will be 100% loyal to the company, and unless and until he will be not misusing the company, his powers and the company's assets. So in this situation, that director is loyal and he is working as a director, because when you become a director, they take a oath also that they will give their 100% to the company. Director should not exploit his or her position of trust and confidence for personal gain at the expense of company or the shareholders, because ultimately whatever funds that directors are using, that belongs to the shareholders. So they cannot break the trust of these people like company and the shareholders, and they cannot use their money for their personal gain. Their personal gain should not uh, be fulfilled with the money of the shareholders. Director will not involve in any situation where the director's interest conflicts with that of the company. Wherever the interest of the company is there you cannot engage in that activity. For example, if the company is planning to expand the business and take over some other small business, so your personal business or your personal interest should not conflict with that interest. That means firstly you cannot engage with that activity in which the company is getting involved, and secondly you cannot earn your personal money from that transaction or that deal. The director should not achieve any undue gain or advantage for self, family, or associates. As soon as the director comes to know the yes, company is doing this type of activity, so if his personal, his friends, his personal life, his personal business, or his associates, or whoever people he know, they are also involved in that company, so he first needs to tell to the company, and this much loyalty he needs to maintain, and he need to inform ki yes, he's my brother or he's my friend who is involved, who he has also given the tender, who is involved in the activity of our business. Next is director's duty can be under the two heads, right? The first is statutory heads, matlab legal, related to the law. So the first is to file the return of the allotments. Allotments matlab hota hai when the shareholders are applying for the shares. So in return of that, we are giving the allotment to the shareholders, right? So company needs to tell them ki yes, we have given you the shares, whatever you have, whatever number of shares you have applied for in the company. So if the company has given the shares, that process is known as allotment of shares to the shareholders. So in this situation, the company maintains every record of the shareholders, how many shares are being purchased by that member, and whatever what name of what type of share he has purchased, what amount of shares he has purchased, his personal records, everything is maintained. And after the all shares are being sold, so then the directors need to file the return of allotments, where in that file or paperwork we need to maintain every shareholder's records, and then we need to submit it to the ROC within 1 month of the allotment of the shares. The next is to act in accordance of articles of company. Of course, whatever things, whatever conditions, whatever rules are mentioned in the articles of association, the director has to follow that, and each and everything he need to do according to the things or the rules mentioned in the articles of association. Now, to disclose interest in a transaction, in whatever transaction, if the directors are having their personal interest, their personal faida, in that situation he needs to tell it to the company ki yes, he is the person who is my friend, or whatever this XYZ business is there, it belongs to my brother. So everything he needs to disclose. Next is to attend board meetings. Every board meetings he needs to attend. He needs to know what is the opinion of the other directors and what is the activities going on in the company. And last is to appoint the first auditors of the company. The next is the general duties. What is general duties? General duties are other than the statutory duties which the director has to perform in the company. The first is the duty of good faith. The director must act in the best interest of the company, matlab the best decision for the company he needs to take and its present and future members, the present members and the people who are going to be associated in the future with the company like the shareholders. So for everyone he needs to take the fair and the best decision for the company. Next is duty of care. The director must display, matlab he must show the care in performance in work assigned. The director is required to display care as much as person of ordinance prudence would be. Matlab whatever in general we are doing, we are taking care of our personal businesses, of our personal people, our families. In the same way he needs to take care of the company and he needs to show care in his performance, because there is no personal thing we can express in the company, because it is an official place, it is a working place, right? So only by your performance and your work towards the company you can show the affection towards the company and your loyalty towards the company. Duty not to delegate. The director being an agent cannot delegate further, because whatever authority a director is having, he cannot give that authority to anyone else and he can move out of the company. This is not possible, because whoever person are having the authority and the power, only that person is authorized to take care of that, right? So he, whatever work a director is having to approve the important papers, to submit the documents to the ROC, so he cannot give it to anybody else and allow that work to do. Director is required to perform his functions personally. Whatever functions or work he is having, he need to do that personally, matlab by himself. The director may delegate if permitted by the act. If the act gives, so then in that condition gives permission, so in that condition he can give his work to somebody else, and that may be other director only. Or articles are required to be delegated in urgent conditions, and in urgent conditions where the things is not going to be managed by somebody else, and he will, if he is not present in the country, so in that situation he can delegate his power to some other director, or at the most managing director, company secretary, and no other person can do the work. Okay, so here we come to an end of the of our things. So today we have studied whatever powers and whatever duties a director is having, right? So in short, a director is a person who is taking care of the management of a company. Whatever work he needs to do, whatever work he is being trying to do in a company, he needs to do it very nicely with utmost care and loyalty in the company, because nobody in the company is there to check the duties of the directors, to check the working of the directors. Ultimately, however the company will grow, whatever profits the company will earn, by that thing the people would come to know ki yes, the director has given their 100% in the company or not, and whether the director are working properly or not, right? So it is ultimately shown by the results of the company, the profit the company is earning, right? So whenever a director is working, or whenever a director is taking decision, so the care and the loyalty towards the company can be shown and is to be shown by in the work of the directors. Now whatever duties a director is having, it can be legal, that is statutory duties, and it can be fiduciary duties. Statutory duties comes under the consideration of the Companies Act, of the Memorandum of Association, Articles of Association, because these three matlab two documents and the act is the thing which everyone in the working in the company, associated with the company, has to follow. So of course the directors cannot go beyond the Companies Act, they cannot go beyond the Memorandum of Association and Articles of Association, and whatever work they has to do, they have to do it within these documents only, right? Now the next is the fiduciary duties. Fiduciary duties are those duties which comes as a responsibility of the directors, and with the care, with the loyalty and with honesty they need to perform it in the company, because they are getting the remuneration for what work they are doing, right, ultimately. So but when if the company is earning a lump sum amount of profits, they are not getting anything in return, but the shareholders are getting in return, right? So their attitude should not be like this ki whatever work I'm doing, I'm getting the salary for that, so even if I don't perform better, the returns are not going to come to me, they are going to the shareholders, so why should I perform? So this attitude should not be there being a director, because being a director, everyone in the company and the company and the investors and the shareholders, government, everyone is trusting upon you to decide the future of a company, to take care of the company. And if the directors are not concentrating, and if they are not giving the 100% to the company, then it will not be a trust and a loyalty and faith relationship between the shareholders, company and the directors. So ultimately there this duty is also given much importance, and being a director you should give your 100% to the company. Thank you.